Hey, welcome back to Mesh Talk with NickiiJean. And I am super excited because I get to sit down and talk to my work colleague, friend, confidant. Like, she is really amazing. And so I'm just so happy to actually get this conversation because we met when you were interviewing me for the red carpet. So now you are in the hot seat.
I am in the hot seat.
Yes.
And thank you for those really kind words towards me. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, no, you are... Yeah. You guys will get to know why I said all of these things. So let's just get into it. Miss Lane, how you doing? How you feeling?
I feel really good.
I'm happy.
I feel good. How are you feeling?
I'm great. I'm excited. I'm ready to just get in.
Let's do it.
And I want to start with, the name. Let's talk about your stage name. Yeah. I met you as one, name, and then we were introduced to another name. So let's break down the two different names.
Yeah, it's funny because some of my family is like, how did you change your name? It's like, okay, guys, don't take it personal. I'm still me.
Yeah.
So when I'm teaching people how to spell my name, I say LANE Shia. LANESHIA.
Okay.
And I try to put the melody in there so they know, okay, I can remember how to spell her name. And so one of my dear friends, John Montez.
Shout out to John Montez.
We were working one day and he looked at me and goes, that's it. That's your name. That's your artist name. And I was like, well, yes, sir. Yeah. So it's just my creative way to tell people how to spell my name, but it's absolutely become my artist name. So LANE Shia, LANE. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's awesome. That's pretty awesome. That's a great story. I think that it's really hard, right? I mean, I would assume that it's hard to come up with names. Are you going to use your real name or, what's the proper name to help describe you as an artist, which is what we're going to talk about today, artistry. So what would you consider yourself like in the industry? What type of artist do you think you are?
That's a great question. Right now, my focus has been on singing and songwriting, producing. I'm also an audio engineer.
Wow.
Stage producer and manager.
This is a lot.
I like to support other artists. So anything that needs to be done to get the artists wherever they desire, where they want to go, is what I do. But right now, it's time for me to focus on me.
I love that. Yeah. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that soon. Yeah. I kind of want to go back to just you saying the different roles that you play in this industry. Well, how did that even come about?
Oh, so I grew up in music and with my family. My dad is a bass artist.
Okay.
And being at concerts and seeing how things work behind the scenes is really my passion. And I made a decision, I think I was in the 6th grade, that I wanted to be an audio engineer.
Okay.
I was actually watching a Phil Collins concert and they were interviewing his front of house engineer. And I was like, that's what I want to do. And so when I started telling people, they were like, okay, well, that's what you're going to do. I'm like, no. I need to go to school. I need to get, but I started mixing live shows for artists and venues. And it became a thing.
Oh, wow.
And then, it kind of evolved into other things for, the people who were performing. So, here I am.
Interesting.
So I could sing my own songs and run my own sound.
That's awesome. We're saving money with that.
I'm like a one-man band. Not really. No, I need people. Trust me.
But there are many things that you can do, so that's great. I want to go back to your dad and just kind of, Mr. What's Chuck
Smith is what he's known.
Yes, Mr. Chuck Smith.
So I'll tell you, I'm just going to share. Most people know him for his bass solos on the Kim Burrell Everlasting Life record.
Hello, Kim Burrell.
And
wow.
So that's kind of how I have to explain it sometimes.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But he's played for so many artists. And growing up in the house with my dad, who's very passionate about music and music theory and character on and off the stage and how to work with other artists and how to be professional in green rooms and on tour buses, how to take care of the crew, the people that are making the magic for you behind the scenes.
Just every role.
You got to love. That's why I love production so much, is because I get a chance to love on the people that are oftentimes underappreciated. You don't see them, because they're making things happen and they're not supposed to be seen, but you feel them. And I'm always thinking about, because of my dad, how do we treat those people? How do we care for them? So my dad has taught me every aspect of this industry, starting with the behind the scenes.
Right.
But people know him from that album, and he's done lots and lots of things. And so, growing up in a house with a bass player, a piano player,
all music,
it's, it was inevitable.
Right,
I think.
right. I want to. What I hear is how impactful your dad was in regards to your career, right?
Yeah.
But now there's a new journey that you're taking in regards to your career. As you said, you've done background and other roles, but now this role that you're in this season, how do you think your dad impact that?
Oh man, I want to say the confidence. My dad is a very confident person. And because I struggled in that area for so long, and I mean, I'm still working through a lot of that, his influence, because he's also my hero, and so I pay attention to the way he moves. I pay attention to how he shows up on stage and how much time he puts in practice. My dad practices more than anybody that I know.
Still.
Today. He's probably at home, sitting on a couch with a guitar in his hand, because he's also a student.
Yeah.
I never
stop learning.
You never, ever stop learning. And so all of those things, have impacted where I am. And I'm excited to be able to share what we're doing with my dad.
Right. And that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
Like, what has that process been? Like, has he been in the studio with you? Actually, take me to the first conversation you had with him in regards to, this is what I'm working on now. What are your thoughts? Or I'm not sure how the conversation went, but kind of take me through that conversation.
I'm glad you asked, because believe it or not, I was also intimidated by the people that I am related to. And it's not them. It was just my not understanding that they wanted to see me in that same space with them. And so what I did was created this song, created my first body of work. And then when it was like almost done, I was like, hey, Dad, you want to hear something? And then I was like, check this out. And he's like, oh. And then I just kept doing it. Dad, you want to hear something else? Check this out. But I don't do a record without my dad.
Okay.
He's on everything that I do.
And when you say he's on everything, what do you mean? He's on, like, he's playing?
Yep. He's playing. And the project that is about, the album that's about to be released, the LANE Show.
Okay.
There's a song on there that he actually wrote.
Okay.
And so, I always want to have, as long as my dad is alive.
That's awesome.
Have him a part of what I'm doing.
That's amazing.
It's affirming for me.
Yeah. That's amazing. And it just sounds like you guys have a really great, solid relationship.
Yes. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I've driven him crazy over the years. I'm the oldest of 3 girls. And so I think that I'm the boss in the family.
Because you are, essentially.
I am, but that can be left up to interpretation.
Yeah.
There's some people that would fight me on that too.
I'm sure.
I.e. my younger sisters.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, but they know I am the boss. But we do have a solid relationship. And the interesting thing is that, like with any family, you're going to have some turbulence, right?
Yeah.
Working through things and your personalities and your passions. But music and creating art together has been our ground.
Right.
It's been our foundation. And I've grown to appreciate my dad more because of that. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's beautiful. I think that's really important to just, while your parents are still alive, you said that, while, he's still alive. And that doesn't mean to say that he will go before you. You never know.
You never know.
But while you guys are both able to maintain, that relationship, well, I think that's beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm a daddy's girl.
I was just going to say.
Yeah.
And so, okay, I kind of want to briefly, I know this is super off topic.
It's okay.
But you just said something that just made me think about generational curses. We talk about this all the time, and I feel like a lot of the times we put emphasis on generational curses and this and that, but there are opposites.
I'm generationally blessed.
Exactly. I wanted to, and I see that, and I feel that, hearing you talk about your dad, and just seeing okay, here where you're at, this is once again, the opposite of just a generational curse.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that this is a conversation that we're having in our communities, different communities, but I do also want us to acknowledge the positive, aspect of it and what it really looks like. So this is amazing. I'm so happy to, hear and see this because it lets us know that it's possible.
Oh,
for sure. So,
I'm very proud of my family.
Yay.
All of
That's
them.
amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. So thank you for that.
No problem. Okay, so let's go back to like dad, family. You started at a young age, right? And you said you started doing background.
Oh, yeah.
And when you say background, like as soon as I hear background, I think that you're saying like, oh, I just sung background. But
I did.
I know, but like I feel like you gave me a list of things that you
I did a lot of things.
So what other things were, considered background that you did in the industry?
So I'm very, very don't y'all take this the wrong way, sonic bougie.
Okay.
Things have to sound right so that people can have a good experience. Imagine going to see your favorite artist and their crew doesn't have it together. That's like the worst. For me, it'd be like the worst experience.
Yeah, for sure.
So my mission was to, and it still is, what can I do to make the artist feel so comfortable that they forget that there's even this machine behind them?
Yeah.
What can we do that translates over into the audience that they come away with an experience that they can't explain? Well, sometimes that's me being on a mixing console. And I like to call it coloring. I like to color.
Okay.
I like to create experiences and moments and moods using sound.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which now brings me to the next question.
Yeah.
What experience are you bringing with your music, your new music that's coming up, and you as an artist?
Oh yeah. So if it feels good to me, and this is probably kind of cocky, but I'm gonna say it. If it feels good to me, it's gonna feel good to somebody else.
Okay, somebody else.
But I'm not gonna stop until it feels good to me.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? The warm and fuzzies. Ooh, what was that? Or ooh, what was that? Or ooh,
right.
What was that?
Because there are different emotions.
Yeah. I want to tap into all of those things because people are in different places. And I've had people reach out to me that were suicidal and they told me, people I didn't know, I have to listen to your song when those thoughts come to me. And that's a feeling, that's an emotion, that's an experience. And I might not understand what they're going through, but if I'm committed to giving everything that I've got with compassion and love, then we can journey together.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you do that though? You know what I mean? Like life is real. We all have things that are going on and it sounds like this is what I'm hearing is that you're pouring into your listeners, anyone, to be honest. But how do you pour into others when you don't have it together yourself?
Oh, listen.
And I'm not saying that you don't, but
no, I don't.
This is life. And I know that, stuff happens. So how do you do that?
I always tease, people and I tell them I have a double M degree and I'm like, have you ever heard of it? And they're like, no. I was like, I have a master's in messing up. I'm like the queen of it. But I have a strong pivot because I learn from every experience and every person. And there are many times that I don't have it together. Okay. Don't let any of this fool you. Everybody's
perfect.
Well, thank you. You're making me feel real good about myself. Everybody's going through something.
Yes.
But I'm also very conscious of myself.
Okay.
And I'm also very sensitive about my output. So if I'm off, like if I'm offline, there are people in my life that have permission to come to me and say, you're off. You need to get that together. And that means maybe I need to go away. Maybe I need a vacation. Maybe I need to sit with myself. Maybe I need to call my counselor. I have one.
Right.
I have several.
I think it's important. Yes.
It's just, I'm not gonna walk you through this journey and present a package to you and not allow you to see the good, bad, and the ugly.
Right.
Because it's all in there.
And that's what makes it authentic and relatable.
Yeah.
And we want that.
Yeah. We're humans.
Right.
Being.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And the purpose of me asking that question is just to share with the people that are tuning in that life is real. And yes, I have these moments, but
lots
at the same time, lots throughout the day.
Yes,
you should have seen me this morning throughout the day.
Listen, don't let these lips fool you now, because I know my lipstick is popping. But
exactly,
there are times where it's just like, oh my gosh, I just need quiet.
Right.
So I can recenter myself.
Yeah. So which kind of brings me to my next question, like what type of routine do you have for yourself to, keep that?
So I would like to be one of these people who says, I've got this routine or this regiment. I am not that fancy.
Okay.
I admire those who do.
Yeah.
But one thing that I found over the past couple of years that really helps me is gardening. And being outside. Don't be impressed because I done killed some plants.
Oh, no.
But like planting things and going outside and, my backyard is kind of an oasis. It's a work in progress. But just stand outside and appreciate the beautiful sky and breathe.
Yeah.
And just have a moment, stretch. And then that has been what's really helped me recently.
Okay.
Yeah, when I'm having a meltdown.
Okay, right? Yes.
Because I have those
just
too.
Pausing and just taking a break.
Just breathe.
Yeah, because that's important. Because if we don't, then we just all automatically like move 100 miles per hour.
Exactly. And you got to take care of you.
Yeah. That's important.
Yeah.
What about your routine like when you go into the studio?
That's pretty wild too. Because I could be sitting on my couch doing something random like watching a show or maybe I'm on social media and I go, ooh, something is speaking to me. I'm feeling something. Let's go in and see let's discover what this is. Or let's explore what I'm feeling. And then a song or 2 or 4 later or 9 or 11 now, we have these bodies of work. So it just, I don't follow all the rules.
Okay.
I just do what I'm inspired to do in the moment.
Right.
And sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not.
Right.
Sometimes it's like, yeah, you weren't really inspired. You needed a nap. Okay, my bad.
Right.
I'm going to go take a nap.
Right. Heard you loud and clear.
Yeah. I shouldn't have went to the studio. I should have went to bed.
Right.
My bad.
Right.
Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you. That's just our body talking to us.
Yes.
So I want to go back to like background work.
Sure.
Because now this is not background work.
No.
You're not doing background work. So like talk me through that process and how
I ended up here.
How did you end up here?
Talking to you?
Yeah. And like putting your own music out. And now it's, yes, like you said, there are a lot of roles that you play that are important and people need to do those, but you're out of sight, out of mind. Like you don't see them.
And I like
this
being
is
there.
You're still doing the same thing though. You're still fixing a sound. You're still communicating. You're still making sure that it's perfectly getting out there just in this form. Up front and personal with everyone to see. So, how was that?
Very uncomfortable.
Okay.
So it was 2019 going into 20 that we decided we were going to, do the song, like my first single. And I was just going to release it because, the world is going through so much trauma through COVID and all these things and everything else that's going on. And we couldn't go anywhere. So it was like, okay, we're locked into the house. We have a studio. We need to build up the studio since we can't go anywhere. Let's just do this and see what happens. Well, I released a song and then things started happening.
So what was the song you released?
Long Road Home is my first single.
What was it about?
Me making it back home.
Okay.
And home is where I'm sitting right now.
Exactly. Interesting. A full 360.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I released that and I got a lot of love back from DJs all over the world. And I mean, here's a girl in the Dallas-Fort Worth area in her living room in our house who decides to release a song and the world spoke back to me because of it. And so I was like, okay. And so they're like, well, what's next? And I'm like, nothing. I just released a song. And they're like, no, you've got to do more. So you guys are witnessing a girl who got incredibly uncomfortable being in the front. And I know that I shine, but it is a work in progress. Always. So I'm here. And because we're releasing more music, myself and Manny Cruz, the LANE Show, I have to be up front.
Right.
So, I mean, you wouldn't come to one of our concerts and I'm backstage somewhere, right? You'd be like, okay, something is wrong.
Exactly. Where is Lane?
Where is Lane? Well, Lane is mixing the monitors. I don't know.
Right.
You know, so it is a work in progress, and I'm learning to get comfortable in this space because of the love that I'm surrounded by.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that that's really important.
Yeah.
And we, as the community, the people that listen to your music, are grateful for that because, as you said, there are people that are saying, hey, this song really touches my heart. Or like it's helping me through, you know, some type of scenario. And had you not put it out there, who knows what that person would have done, you know, in that sad, depressed moment. So I'm happy that you are, you know, hearing your calling. I mean, we know that you have a call. You know that you're called to greatness. Everything you do, everything you touch is greatness, but it's a new season for you. And this is just really exciting to like watch and be a part of. So now the new
now you're making me blush.
No, I mean it's real. It's real. And we appreciate you living out loud because some people don't live out loud, you know? And so I feel like your music will call certain people that will listen to it spiritually. It's just like a connection. And I feel like that's, you know, what your music will do and is already doing and has done. So let's talk about the new music now. Yes, let's get into the new music.
I am really, really the Manny Lane Show. This project is the most. Some people are gonna be mad at me for saying, "Don't be mad. Don't be mad.
Don't be mad."
I am the most proud of this. I am the most proud of how it came to be.
Okay.
What it sounds like, what it feels like, what it represents.
Okay.
And who's represented inside the music, the stories. It has been the funnest like recording experience for myself. It's also been challenging because Manny Cruz, who's my production partner, is a very serious artist. Like he takes his craft very serious and he doesn't let me cut corners. Yeah, he doesn't let me cut corners. I don't want to cut corners, but if I tried to slide one in, he's like, "No, Lane, you're gonna go back and do that again." But we're having fun doing it, and so that'll be out soon, and we'll be able to share it with the world. But
awesome,
I'm very proud of it, what we've done.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. We're proud of it. I want to go back to now that you know. We talked about Dad and how involved he is. Has he been able to listen to the whole album?
He has.
Okay, what's his thoughts? What do you think?
He loves it.
Yeah.
And he loves Manny too. So he loves our music. Can you just imagine, you know, I'm a daddy's girl and he'll message me and say, "Man, you guys have such a cool sound," or "Y'all have such a unique sound," or "I love this," or "This makes me feel like this." Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that makes me want to do it again. Yeah. You know, which we are.
Right.
We're not going to stop creating.
Yeah. No. Because now you see how we're responding, right? You said something earlier about like what the music represents.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Cultures.
Okay.
Love.
Okay.
There's literally something for everybody on this record, from Western to Spanish to reggaeton.
So wait, you're singing?
Yes. Yeah, I've sung in Spanish before.
How was that though? Like, what was that process?
I love Spanish. I love the language.
So you fluently speak Spanish?
No, I'm working on it.
Okay.
I used to be really good at it and I stopped using it.
Okay.
And I'm getting back to that. Okay. And I think out of respect to the culture and my Spanish speaking folks and family members and friends, that I need to do my due diligence to honor their language. And so I'm working on it. But I can communicate enough to get around and to, you know, let people know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. But I'm doing a lot of it on this album. So
I want to know what's the difference, like I feel like when we're singing, definitely not a singer. But like, you know, like, I mean, in the shower,
I'm like, let me find out.
Passion, you know?
Okay.
So like, when you're singing in English, like, can you help me understand the emotion? Or if there is, maybe I'm just like, you know, talking crazy.
No, there is.
But what's the emotion between, you know, singing in English versus singing in Spanish?
Ooh. So this is absolutely subjective, but I feel like the Spanish language is very emotional and it's extremely passionate and it's very romantic and it's beautiful and I love singing in Spanish. makes me feel fancy.
Yeah.
But I think the emotions are the same. It's just how you apply them and where you want them to land.
Right.
Because I can sing something in English that I want you to feel and do it in Spanish, and you might feel the same thing, or you might get something different. I don't know. I think that's up to the listener.
Right.
Yeah. But we're definitely pouring in.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But it's up to you, how you receive it.
Right. Which you just, triggered something. You use the term pouring in.
Yeah.
When you're pouring into us, who's pouring into you?
Oh, I'm working on that. I spend a lot of time with myself, which is not always good. But I am in counseling.
Okay.
I'm an advocate for that. You don't have to go to counseling, but you need to have somebody you can talk to. And I can tell when my cup is getting low.
Right.
And I'll make the call because I'm going to take action because I feel like I have a responsibility to be present for my people.
Yes.
Again, you don't go to a concert. You don't want to come to a LANE show and I'm backstage because I can't get it together.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I have a tribe of people in my life that can hold me accountable to where they know I'm going. And I have people that I can say when I can wave the flag and go, help.
Yeah.
This is how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
This is what I'm thinking. I need help.
Yeah.
And I find I always walk away encouraged.
That's the goal.
Maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Maybe I was just tripping, have those moments.
Yeah. No, I think that's really important because what you do is you're giving. Yeah. You're giving us something. And I know that that's not easy to do, right? Like, I don't know. I'm just imagining like going into the studio and just you need to mentally prepare for that. And what if you're not able to get the notes the way, or it's not sounding good to you? Like, how do you,
I stop.
Okay.
If it's not coming out the way that I need it needs to, I just stop.
You just stop.
I'm not chasing anything.
Okay, I love that.
I'm focused on giving out things.
Right.
And if I've got to go in and I'm chasing after something for a number, don't get it twisted. You got to pay me. I was like,
pay the lady.
You run me my check. Run me my money.
Run me my money.
But that's not my motive.
Right.
It's really about love.
Right.
And if I'm not feeling it, I don't do it.
Right.
I'll go outside. I'll sit on the couch, or I'll go back to the drawing board.
Yeah. I think that's also important because then it's like you can't deliver, and then like what are you delivering?
Yeah,
right.
There are those moments.
Yeah, I'm sure. I feel like we all have those moments in different aspects of our lives.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
And that's that's why I asked like what you did, because maybe there's someone else that may not be a singer or an artist, but may be experiencing that same moment,
just stop.
So yes, thank you for sharing.
Pause.
That. Pause. That's key. I think that's key because I feel like sometimes if we're not paused, like our brain is just like moving, like, and we're just coming. I know I am for sure, like creating scenarios. And now I'm like completely on the whole other side of the world when I should have been like right here and present, and I've lost. Now it's going to take me 5,000 years to get back to, because that's a process too, to get back to, being
pick yourself
present.
up.
Yeah.
My counselor calls it projecting.
Okay.
That's something I'm working on.
Okay.
She'll tell me, Lanisha, LANE Shia, I think you are projecting.
Oh.
And I was like, what does that mean? You create these scenarios in your mind. They're not real.
Yes.
And people are working through different levels of that maybe.
Yeah.
And I know now when I'm doing it, I'll call myself out. I'm like, you know what? That is not what's true. I need to focus on being present.
Yes.
And if that means I need to be quiet or take time to myself, I'm not going to apologize for that.
Right. I think that is huge. Like what you just described is what it looks like to be triggered and how to handle that triggering moment.
Oh,
and that's important. I think that's extremely because I think being able to be aware sometimes, and I know that I can firmly say that I've done this, that I can't even get to that moment. I can't even get past just being triggered. I'm triggered. That's it.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yes, I think I'm actually going to write a song called Triggered.
Okay. You want me to sing on it? La, la, la.
I got you. I got you. Y'all recording this?
Yes.
Yeah, because we all have different triggers.
Okay.
You know, and it's
For
how
sure.
you react and respond
Absolutely.
to them.
And being able to be aware of it being a trigger. That's so big.
Yeah.
So
and
big.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's important. And that's the hard part is one, I mean, there's many factors to this whole scenario, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, being able to be aware of the trigger, being able to see that it's a trigger and being okay with the trigger. Because that's also hard.
I'm going to be honest and tell you, like, I'm working through that.
Yeah.
You know,
hey,
I'm sorry. I'm not really sorry, but just be patient with me. Because we're all working through something.
That is key.
Yeah.
And what you just said, be patient with me.
Yes.
Like, be patient. Like, in general, I think that is like, you know, a word that should be used in this season is just being patient, like with others, with yourself, with God, or whomever, you know, you pray to.
Yeah.
And that goes within taking a pause, right? We're taking a pause. Thank you. Thank you. I would like to know your like thoughts on, not thoughts, but I would love for you to give advice to, you know, the listeners that are, I mean, you really went from background to, nope, I am ready. And like, how do you know when you're ready, right? So I would love for you to like give some advice on just knowing when you're ready and what to do when you realize you're ready.
That's good. As you were talking, the first words that came to me were wise counsel. I keep myself surrounded again by people who can hold me accountable and say, hey, girl, get back online or you're offline or whatever. And when I started doing this, when I took the first step, you know, and Daddy said, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
That made me want to take the next.
Right.
And then I started sharing it with my tribe.
The reinforcement.
Having a good tribe is important.
Yes, that's key.
And they were the ones who affirmed me and said, girl, where have you been?
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't know that I belonged here, but I know that now. So take the step.
Yeah.
And even if you have to take a step and just breathe for a minute, let the dust settle.
Yeah.
Let things fall into place before you take the next step.
Right.
Just take the step.
Right.
The right people are going to come alongside you.
Absolutely.
And the people that mean you well will protect you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's my journey.
Thank you so much. I mean, and it's a great journey. And
thank you.
We couldn't rush it as much as I'm like, but you were in the background, and why were you in the background so long?
Because I love the background
I know,
still.
Right? But it was all in timing.
Yeah.
And it's like perfect timing for you. So we're
Thank you.
so excited to just, you know, see, you know, what's next. Okay, let us know where we can find, you know,
I'm on all of the socials.
Yes.
LANE Shia Music on Instagram. I'm on TikTok too. I forget that I have TikTok.
Oh, we're back.
Yeah, TikTok, Facebook. I'm on everything, but you can find my music, our music, Manny and I, the Manny Lane Show on all digital streaming platforms. And we have some other fun visuals that we're going to share with the world. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
I'm so excited to share. And thank you for having me today.
Thank you for coming. We need this. We need this. These are the real raw moments that we want to have. And they're very authentic. And it's, you know, just as much as your music, you know, you have a conversation with your music. Like us just having a conversation to get to know the real Lane is really important. So
Mesh talk.
Mesh talk. Guys, thank you so much.
Yeah.
With that being said, thank you for tuning in to Mesh Talk with NickiiJean. If you are a creative or if you would like to submit someone that is a creative, please go to meshclctv.com. Submit them. We want to hear from you. Thank you again for checking in. Click the link below and subscribe. Okay? Stay tuned.
Mesh Talk is created and produced by The Mesh Collective.